And because it's so good, we do it again. Because we need the sound.
I was gonna say. It's like, I think I have my sound on.
General's Lounge Revival.
And hello everyone, and welcome to the General's Lounge. Part, I don't know actually. I think it's episode 7 or so, but it's the first one in now, I think 1.5 years. But I'm happy to be back here. I'm happy to have three amazing guests in the form of ATKPWR right above me. Hello, ATKPWR.
Hey, how's it going? Sorry,
Okay.
I didn't know if I was frozen.
Homer?
Am I frozen? Yeah, no.
Oh, you
Yeah,
might be frozen.
I'm here, not ready for a face reveal on account of not having a webcam.
Okay, and then YKomamori.
YK here. Yep, it's me, and I'm obliged to be here, so continue on.
So we have representation from 3 out of the 5 divisions here, which is pretty nice. But yeah, its league is over for the playoff stage. Half of the players have been sorted out. The other half will make it to the playoffs, and it's a hot playoffs group that we got in, with every one of you also participating. Spoiler alert. So, how did you like the league season so far, everyone?
Oh, this was a fun one. I like the 50-minute time limit. I think that's the right number for. I just think that's the right number for this game. An hour would be okay too. I'm a balanced player myself, but yeah, I honestly wish it was a longer group stage, though I understand why it's not.
I had a lot of fun so far. Quite some surprises in my division, at least. That group stage was a bit brutal for a lot of people. But yeah, no, lots of fun so far.
I mean, I'm being seen as a misfit here. I do not know how did I get here. Upon my return, yeah, I had a 1 season off from here and just trying to test myself here. And it was a lot of fun, sure enough. And Division 4 is what I think probably where the league actually is from all the new players. And also some of the seasoned ones who are not going too well in this game.
Yeah. Division 4 was... yeah, you did win the second caster battle there. The second streamer battle. After ATKPWR did win his one as well. The most important game of the season, obviously, so far. The ATKPWR revenge arc coming to...
Yeah.
But,
I still don't know how that happened.
But we will get
For all those practice games, too.
I don't know how that happened. Well, I will say, during the practice games, we didn't ban or anything. Like, he just... I mean, I let him pick 44 Strelky, and I absolutely loathe that division with a passion.
But yeah, we will go back into that later on. Let's start with Division 5 though, as we have another lovely intro video for that part as well.
Oui, sir. Oui, sir. I feel like... You know I was hired as a level designer? I feel I could be more creative though. Oui, Olivier. Sorry, sir. I will do my job. Now Division 5. An intern?
Big thanks to Bavayan for helping out here with the Mimi transitions, as always.
The authentic French accent there.
And the authentic French accent, nobody could do it better. And yep, that brings us to Division 5, where all the new faces are. Or nearly all the new faces, as we had a couple of older names here, but they surprisingly didn't do so well. The 2 veterans here were Sontiofel and Philly Marauder in Group B and Group C respectively, and they didn't make the playoffs, but the people who made the playoffs are quite hot. The two favorites though come into mind. Did any one of you play any of these players lately? And
I do not know though, but sure enough, I know from what I previous know. Yeah, Barbarian come up from Division 5 originally, and that's why you pick him. I think. I don't know, but sure enough, none of them. But Sunteo was probably one of the last opponents that I faced in any other tournaments before this league, and he did quite well actually.
I faced quite a couple of these players, but none of the ones that actually made it through the playoffs or to the playoffs. So, yeah, quite the upset there. Lots of fun new faces to see, though.
yeah,
The other thing is always hard too, because sometimes you run into them in game and they have a different name for their Eugen name and versus their Discord one. So I'm never sure.
yeah, the two which I casted a couple of games lately with, when I also played with, were Creamy Bigums, the best name in the league, and I also ran into Witch Doctor once or twice, and those are decent players for sure. So I'm surprised that Witch Doctor didn't made it. I think Division 5 was also the toughest competition that it might ever has been. Maybe since Crutch Ryu was there, but then it was not really competition. It was just Crutch Ryu bullying everyone. Well, because mistakes were made there back in the day. I mean, he was a new player.
Before you're moving straight into the Division 2, yeah. I thought you were putting him in Division 3 after the Division 4 slaughter, I'd say.
There's actually been a couple of those where a new player comes in and then upsets the system and is actually quite better than the division they're put in. But we can discuss that when we get to them.
I think there's one of those in Division 3 this year, but I'm not gonna. We'll talk about it when we get to Division 3.
Yeah, in Division 5 here for sure though, Thunderbolt and Drake Mallard so far unbeaten, so for sure the favorites if we go over to the final stage, as they are both put into the semifinal. So I would expect both of these to go to the finals, but maybe Kuba, the other one, winner of a group, though not quite flawless, could upset Thunderbolt in the north, and Firetide versus Lejak also should be an interesting one. I have casted one game of Lejak and it didn't look too badly either, I think. So should be quite a nice one. Did any one of you pick any one of these in your fantasy league? Is also maybe an important question to ask. No? Okay.
Quite honestly,
Yeah,
I didn't do the
fantasy
fantasy league.
Oh, you didn't do the fantasy league? Oh my god.
I couldn't figure it out too much Excel.
Yeah, I didn't put any fantasy league around, and if I do, I probably pick Sunte or Philly Marauder, those old names, and also
that
maybe
was...
Kuba, maybe Firetide, and probably Creamy Bigums.
That was my mistake as well. I picked Philly Marauder, and then he went 0-6. So yeah, you will see how well I did in the fantasy league in the end. But, yeah.
Try not to be me last time, and I'm in the fantasy league. I try to pick the worst team ever.
Yeah,
probably nobody would know.
I picked some not so well performing players as well. But yeah, Division 5 sure should be a really nice matchup. Looking forward to the Drake Mallard Thunderbolt matchup if that's coming up. That should be like the Germany versus England kind of finals, like the two favorites currently in the football EM going through. But maybe an upset is coming up here from the rear. So looking forward to this. As always, playoffs, single elimination can bring interesting results, but that's Division 5 for us. So now we come into the first division where someone of you is involved in, with another beautiful, beautiful intro video from Babayan first.
Hype.
Hello Anthony.
Oui.
So I have a bunch of super good ID. We need to nerf the TU2 and buff the HE of the tanks. Then we need to do something about the fallback bonus. Then the game will be in a good state. Understood?
More Division.
Division 4.
So here we return Division 4. And here we have the one flawless player so far with us out of this division. As YKomamori did the 6-0 in an impressive fashion down here. So how did you do that?
I did not know how well this goes because I think I had like 7 practice game quick play before the league started, and I had a 3-month hiatus. Well, just to pursue my college, which utterly failed. And going back to this, I'm not exactly expecting this result. I had a win against the Tusk first, which I am well surprised by his own tactic and his own opening because I think most of us did see some of his opening on the preseason game against Robert, and that was quite fascinating. And to be honest, but the follow up wasn't too well, unfortunately. So the Tusk didn't really put up to in the end.
Yeah,
I think that's the one of the most exciting matchup that I had.
And you kicked another content creator with Vampiro under the bus and left him out for this season.
Probably. We agreed to have some fun games, so we had some fun games, but I don't want to lose, so I kind of like, okay, let's try out something that I don't use that often. One of them is actually Tetris, so I'm kind of feeling sorry about using the top divisions for now, but, well, it's something that I don't really use that often.
Yeah.
Gotta use what you can to win, right?
Yeah, it's League. Anything goes. A phase off map. Protoss.
No way. No way.
It's competitive gaming. What
It all goes.
Sure.
Everything goes. Yeah, if it's in the game, it's there to play. And if someone doesn't ban a top division and you play it, that's on them.
Yeah, I mean, I did the same mistake lately. I ran into 44th with nothing to pick against it. That was a pleasant experience, obviously, in my finals versus Honor in the monthly tournament. Yeah, Division 4, sadly the one division where we still wait out for one last game to be played between Call and Want Some Noob as the tiebreaker game. So we don't quite have a final standing here, but obviously YKomamori will go straight into a semifinal. And the other players here that you might know are Stardek, a player that I just had a discussion with about how effective priests are. And Want Some Noob also plays a lot of ladder, also not that easy to beat. And then Conyux, the one that is everywhere at the moment. Every single Twitch stream I see, Conyux is online, and he's also on the ladder quite a lot. And learning from Gonzo, so that's not the worst thing to do.
Gonzo copy-paste machine, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's okay. That's who that is. Yeah, he beat me like twice in the ladder just the other day, and I was sad.
There's actually, in this division 4 particularly, there's a lot of really strong players. Like, not to mention YKomamori, but like Stardek has recently been bullying Tanner, and Tanner's currently in Division 1. Like, they played multiple practice games together. Not to mention, a bit of secret insight here, Onord has actually been training Stardek. So I'm surprised he even lost one game here, but versus, I believe, Want Some Noob. That was definitely a tough game, I think.
Yeah, I feel like Division 4 and Division 3 are honestly like really similarly skilled players throughout like both divisions, and it's really these are just the guys who are on the cusp of getting into those top 2 divisions, which, you know, where you really see the strongest players in Steel Division 2 sitting.
Yeah, they are for sure pretty strong. Yeah, we also have one more last game being played out between Kolkol and Rogish. That's why this is missing, as they didn't quite get the game 2 played yet, but they should be around as well. I think they just didn't upload the replay yet, but this will be finished soon. So yeah, Want Some Noob and Conyux, I think, also planned out to play their one game today. So deciding which one of them will have an easier start, which one of them has to play one less game to make it to the finals, and make it into Division 3 especially next season. Like, if you make it to the finals, you're easily into Division 3. So that's important. And you also play for a prize pool. Division 4, $10 prize pool so far, thanks to all the kind people out there who supported us over at the Matcherino, which is really nice that we already back up to 300 $74.85. Yeah, especially thanks to some great late editions of even up to $100 by Vladimir. And King Boom just coming in with another $10 prize pool. But yeah, nice to see. Thanks to all of you making this a bit more esports. And yep, Division 4. Who would you say is your favorite to win this, everyone?
I would have to go with Stardeck, but I've just been facing him recently, and he's like been going pretty good, even against me, as we've been practicing together and 2 divisions up, certainly at the very top there. But Want Some Noob already having gone 2-0 versus Stardeck, that'd be the next one I'd favor.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Want Some Noob, especially because he beat me 2 times in a row on ladder, pretty decisively. So I'm gonna have to go with him. Although Stardeck is fantastic. Who's down there in the third group? I can't even. I can't see it.
YKomamori.
YKomamori, yeah.
YK, yeah.
Think about it. I'm not really gonna think about it because Stardeck has absolutely trashed me on quick play before I play any league game, and I think O'Neil, who's been everywhere, and I might expect them to be meeting each other at final. Also, Want Some Noob looking pretty strong, but I haven't seen any of them. I haven't seen any of his game yet, so I probably will need to get a few casts on it on my YouTube. Maybe not. I'm getting a bit lazy recently and onto sim racing content. So sorry about that.
Well, lucky for you, YK. They should play each other before you run into either of them. So you'll only have to work your way through one of those guys.
Yeah. Also, my guess would be Zagaliot. Unless Stardeck stops playing priests, then I say Stardeck. But as long as he plays priests, he obviously won't make it. Kappa. No,
Come on, priests are good.
We just had a really long debate about our six South African builds. And yeah, no, I actually go with a secret tip here, and I go with Zagaliot. I liked his play a lot, so yeah.
Interesting thing, really.
That should be interesting. Yeah. Should be a really interesting group. I'm really looking forward to these players as well. There's a lot of hot shots in there. And yeah, YK coming into the semifinals. Easy. The Tusk also, practicing quite a bit. Met the Tusk in the group stage as well. In rank quite a bit. Might be the division that plays the most in quick play at the moment, to be honest, looking at this. Though I guess Division 2 is still playing more. But yeah.
Yeah, I'm the players that watch the most, like Barbari and like Fantix, like those guys. I mean, those who are saying with me on the stage, who had a pretty good run currently on the league. So I'm pretty looking forward to the Tusk also, but not as much as the other players currently.
Yeah, so Division 4, your guesses were Stardeck, Want Some Noob, and Zagaliot, right?
Yep.
But yeah,
Pretty much.
so yeah, a lot of hopes in Stardeck. As I said, if he stops playing priests, he might get it done. Yeah, let's move on to Division number 3. Messed up.
More metal box for the DLC.
They will love it.
Are you sure about this? You are the intern,
Good
you know
girl.
better. Division 3.
And here we return. And did I just close down the Discord? No, there we go. Okay. Everything is still in place. I feared for a second that I had done a grave mistake. As we come to the division of tiebreakers, we are here in Division 3 with Group A having the first tiebreaker of them. ATKPWR versus CK530. Was an interesting game, but CK530 really showing up there. And yeah, you already did use all your energy for that one setup against Vulcan, didn't you?
Yeah, I guess. I just picked stupid. That was a dumb pick ban. That was a really dumb pick ban. That was really dumb. I mean, and CK plays too well. I mean, you can't. I got pretty unlucky a lot of times, but my play wasn't helping me at all. Nothing went right that game. And honestly, if I had just beaten Theoman if I had just straight up won against Theoman like I could have if I didn't do stupid things again, then I wouldn't have had to deal with it. But I did. I screwed up, so.
Yeah. And CK530 being also then up against another tiebreaker. Against the tiebreaker winner between MK Ultra and Homayun, which was Homayun in a pretty tense match. And then Homayun came around against CK530 in another game that was really intense, in which, as we can see in the final stage, CK530 took the better out of over Homayun. It was a really, really good game. I casted all those tiebreaker games yesterday, and damn were they tough. And yep, I would say you have a tough opponent in front of you there, Attack Power.
I scroll down just a bit. Sorry, it keeps getting cut off.
Sorry, yeah.
Who am I?
You're playing Homayun in the first round.
Oh, I thought I was playing. I just assumed I was playing Schwer Panzu Abteilung. Okay, that should be interesting. Oh, and then I get to run into Mamil. Mamil's the one I was talking about earlier. Who should he belong? Does he belong in Division 3, Protoss?
Well, maybe not. Next season he will most likely be Division... Unless you stop him, he will be Division 2 next season. It's up to you to decide if
This was a little rude, Protoss. This was a little rude.
Attack Power, I believe in you. You gotta do it.
Like we said, there's quite a few strong players this time around. And even that Group C bracket being fairly evened out, right? Very interesting to see how Division 3 went out here, and also the upset with Vulcan.
Yeah, I mean, it happens, right? It was his first time playing League in a while. He made a nice reflection video about it, about what went wrong and all that kind of stuff. And it's, I mean, I'm sure all you guys can understand it. It's different when you're posting videos on YouTube or you're putting yourself on stream or whatever on Twitch. Yeah, there's people watching you, people have expectations and stuff, and sometimes it just gets to you. You're
quite
just
honestly,
like,
I couldn't believe that he casted those videos live, right? Like, to be able, like, sure, he's more confident doing that than say I am, right? But even, it's difficult to say.
And I do a lot of my games live too, because it saves time, and a lot of people prefer the live, but it does slow you down. Like it's something else to think about. It's just another distraction, so your head's not fully in the game. It is, but it's not either, So, and he was playing late at night, and just I beat him. There's no getting around that fact, and that's always like you can give excuses forever, and I do that too. We all do it, but it's like game didn't go as well for him as he thought it would. And Vulcan's an excellent player. We all know he is. So I skirted by that one lucky, and truthfully, everyone in Division 3 is awesome. I mean, I look up and down that list, and I'm just like, there's no one here who I'm like, oh, thank goodness I get to play whoever. It's a stronger, and I think if we look over the years, that's just how this game has gotten. More people are getting better at it. More people are into it, so you're going to find more people who are good, and that's awesome. I mean, it's a great. I'm not going to call it a problem, but it's a great problem to have.
Yeah, even people who made it into playoffs last season, like Lieutenant Marty, or people who did really well in previous seasons, like Reef, just not making even the cut off the playoffs this season. So it's a tough competition here, and a lot of good people around. And yeah, Mimele for sure, maybe the one that could have gone Division 2. But I mean, the Division 2 is also stacked and full of good people. It's his first league season. He never played a tournament before. So Division 3 is usually the start date, even if you are good on the ladder. But he seems to be the all-around package. Even after picking bans, he still seems to have good enough play around. Because what with ladder heroes often happens is after picking bans, their divisions are gone, and then they don't play as well as you see them on the ladder. But Mibele seems to be still showing up even after that. So, yeah, for sure, not an easy opponent to beat here. And, yeah, good chances of seeing him Division 2 next season. But
yeah, if I actually beat him, I'm going to lose it. I'm going to tell you to promote him over me. I'm going to say, don't move me to 2.
Well, as he's
Well, you beat him, you're at least getting into semifinal or finals. I don't know, but hey, you added
I
on merit, so you gotta get it for 2.
I still got to get through Honeyman. He's a great player too. So yeah, it'll be interesting. It'll be a fun division. I'm sure. I feel like we're starting to get into the names people know, a lot of or have seen in several leagues and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, it's gonna be tough and it's gonna be fun, and I'm planning to watch most of the games. So whether I win or lose.
All right, that's a decent statement. So these are the guys I'm potentially facing in the next season, right? On merit.
yeah.
I think I've been in Division 3 once when I had a group stage. There was 6 in group, and I got like 4th in the group stage, and I still moving into Division 3 because there's not enough not enough players to fit the seat. So I didn't take this on merit, and I failed pretty miserably though. But hey, I mean, these are the pretty interesting names coming up, and I'm looking forward to
Also,
see how it goes in the playoff.
One really important person to point out here is also Schwer Panzerabteilung. Yeah, as we will see how well he keeps up in practice after being one of the key YouTube armchair generals here in the every YouTube section. So yeah, let's see how Ted Archer comes up into the finals. Looking forward to that as well. Can our armchair generals make it through the playoffs as well?
Guess we'll have to see.
Yeah. That should be interesting. Same, obviously, with Konyox and Stardek. I like all the armchair generals out there. I have an eye on you. I will be critical. I will be critical of every single mistake you do.
Yep, you've set the bar very high for yourself.
And yeah, so who is your pick here for winning? Everyone.
I'm going to have to pick Attack Power. I really think he's going to pull through this time. No, I'm just kidding. I'm going with Emil.
I would like to see CK530 win, but Emil has had a really strong showing, so I'll be looking out for that matchup definitely.
Schwer Panzerabteilung sure has the probably most interesting name in here. I do kind of looking forward to him, but realistically, though, I'd say probably Emil is gonna have the finals. Not too easily, but not really gonna take him a lot of time.
Yeah, it's hard to not take Mimile here. I have to agree with you there. And yeah, I will try to make the process of refining the players and their levels next season a slight bit better again. But I think we, in general, still have a mostly defeating division for the players. So yeah, and you never.
I think the matchups are pretty good overall. I mean, it happens. New player comes in, you don't know how he's going to perform in the actual thing. It's fine. And you never know. You never know.
Yeah,
anything can happen.
The one gross thing with Mimile was, I think, the pricing in Fantasy League, because someone messed up there. Like, he's also the cheapest one of Division 3 in Fantasy League, or one of the cheapest ones. So everyone picked him.
No expression on him.
So
that's what you got to do with an unknown, right?
Yeah, he pulled through for a lot of fantasy players as well. Well, I mean, we knew his ranked status, so we could have priced him a bit higher there. But yeah, the quality control there didn't quite work out. So Fantasy League, but I mean, that's also what Fantasy League makes so interesting, right? Finding the right player that makes the best bang for a buck. So yeah, people buying him there, doing a good job. I didn't buy him, obviously, because my team. Yeah, we will get to the points later. Yeah, I'm lucky that I'm in the triple digits points at least. But yeah, let's move on to Division 2 with another one of these lovely, slightly cringe videos of Babayan. And I'm looking forward to what the joke will be this time.
I'm going to enjoy a good game of Steel Division 2. but first let me find my deck.
Division almost good.
I'm not gonna lie, that one got me.
That got you hard. You're anticipating something great.
Oh, I laughed pretty hard. I was just muted.
That one for sure got me. We're moving into Division 2. And here we are with Homer's group. And that one was
Oh man.
a lot of back and forth, wasn't it?
Let me just tell you, I gotta blame you, Protoss, for me being in Division 2 at all, because this is also my first league, right? And I specifically asked Green, don't put me into Division 2. I'm gonna get steamrolled. And so there has to be somebody that got mad at me or something, and it's gotta be that damn time I sniped your off-met with the Lati. So tell me, is it your fault that I am in Division 2?
Unlike me, Melee, you played in a tournament before, and you didn't perform too badly. And you also didn't perform too badly here, didn't you? So
Okay, you got me there. Yeah, no, my bracket, I swear, it was a little bit rigged, but I surprised that I made it through. Yeah, Bowser definitely wiping me the last game, but I practiced a lot with Luna, so that was no problem for me. And then Robert, I just mispicked on the map. He had a very strong division for that map, and I wasn't quite aware of it at the time. But somehow I'm through to the matchup here, the final stage, so we'll see how that goes.
yeah, this is
Luna's gonna be pretty mad though, because well, he's highly anticipated. I meet him from the very start of his tournament career, and well, I think he did not do too bad over there, but was kind of mad of some tactics maybe, but he's trying to play it fair anyway.
I mean,
Everyone's
Luna,
trying
the
to play
odd
it fair
division
anyway.
enjoyer. Right. Luna, the odd division enjoyer, picked like 352nd versus second Indian head, and then won with it versus Robert. So
Yeah,
I
that was a
swear
good.
Luna would have gone 3-0 if he hadn't picked weird divisions.
Yeah, that was impressive. Honestly, that was a really impressive game.
to be honest, I don't know if he would have gone 3-0, but he would have made playoffs most likely. Like, his strength also comes out of his weird division. It's not like, oh yeah, if he would just play meta, he would just absolutely destroy everyone. No, his scariness also comes out of him playing something off meta that nobody else is prepared for. And that's how he also got honored in the charity event tournament finals, with playing AK versus him there in the finals. And that was an impressive game. So yeah, Luna not making once more not making the playoffs, but once more staying in Division 2, being the scary guy everyone has to beat to make it to the playoffs, it seems. Establishing himself in the position there, being the one.
I suppose so. The odd thing about relying on sneaky tactics like that and like playing off your opponent is yeah. As soon as you learn how he plays, like I did practice with Luna beforehand a couple of months ago, so I knew how he played, and so it was no problem for me to pick Raima going into like 50-second Sicherungs and then completely trash him, right? So I don't know.
At least that's a good effort, at least for you, Homer.
Yeah, but
Good
that's
job,
enough about Group A, I would say. There's certainly in the other groups, specifically Yaman, I'll be watching out for, because Yaman has had a very strong showing. I did defeat him a couple of times in quick play fairly recently, I will say, but he's done the same to me, so that's a worry. And then Dark Neutron as well, and Farid Rommel, very, very strong players. Bit disappointed that we didn't see some nice friendly faces like Colonel Koenig or Babar in the playoffs here, but
Yeah.
strong showing from some regulars as well.
But Bavar at least being the only French not being relegated. Hypocras and Colonel Koenig sadly falling to the cutting a knife towards next season. Getting relegated
Yeah,
to
you gotta
Division
see.
3.
You gotta see if there's enough seed for them in group. I mean, if there's enough seeds in Division 2, you're still gonna put them in, right?
No. That's not how it happens. Don't start talking like this already.
Oh.
No. He'll move up the Division 3 guys into Division 2, and the 2 guys will drop down to 3.
Yeah. And also, Herr Roberts.
Not always the case, of course.
Fall from grace here. Herr Robert making the being in Division 3 next season. Will we have to start a Rocky kind of storyline here with Herr Robert practicing back, getting back in shape to making it back to Division 1 again?
Robert does not deserve to be Division 3. Just, I think, El Bowser and the Luna combo kind of really put him on the wrong seat there.
Well, he will have to show it next season, I guess. It'll be interesting. I mean, that's how leagues work, right? Sometimes someone is, I mean, a club like Hamburger SV is still playing second league somehow, some way. You know, it's
At least I'm not too worried about it because I had a 100% win rate against Herr Roberts on quick play, but that's only one game, so yeah.
A quick player walking with any division on any map.
He was trying, like, when the 50k of the second Bloom Day was absolutely hilarious, and he tested on me with my Maverick 11SS, I think, and I got a win in phase C. That's how it was.
Yeah, but yeah, Yamin showing up real strong. I already had my eyes on him last season, but last season he wasn't quite performing yet. But I would, like, when it comes to favorites in the playoffs, also Dark Newton winning the tiebreak against El Bowser, filling El Bowser a rage, never something good to do, unless it is. Like, you have to either bring him to overrage or get him into a true shield mode. That's the two stages where you can beat El Bowser. And El Bowser in his normal level on rage is really tough to beat. And in the final stage, he is now having to play Farid Rommel first, as Dark Newton won the tiebreaker match there between El Bowser. And
El Bowser's gonna have to find a new video to look at for the 3 hours of stream that he plays.
Yeah, that one is his background music is unique, let's put it that way. But yeah, Pitts.
Yeah, I think Dark Neutron. He's my favorite for this Division 2. He's such a good player. He really is. Like, he's just consistent. He plays well all the time. I rarely see Neutron like blow up. And I remember him back when he was like Division 4 or whatever. We would practice from time to time. He's a good all around player. I'm voting him for the win of this one.
You know what my pick for winning this whole thing is actually? Farid Rommel. I think if Hairs and Farid Rommel put in a bit more effort into getting the Vanguard play into business, they're super scary. Like Hairs and Farid Rommel, they're practicing there with Vanguard and so on. Oh boy, do they look scary. Oh boy, do they look scary.
I think you just want
pretty odd picks sometimes, and probably the ones to watch if you want to have some interesting coming up.
I think Protoss just wants. I think he wants Vanguard to be a thing. That's all.
I mean, they won with them. They won with the Vanguard picks already.
I won Vanguard once as well and won with that as well. So it's back in the meta.
Same here. It's actually I won with Vanguard, but it's also an OB win. So sure enough.
Well, I think Vanguard's more of a counter pick, if anything, against specifically balanced. I would hesitate to go against Maverick with it. But
yeah, I think Maverick you get more points by the end of B. It's hard to keep up.
But not that many, and you break even at the 40-minute mark again. Like, you actually only by now get 200 points at the end of B, whilst Vanguard has 250 at the end of A in front of you. So you actually get less of an advantage that Vanguard gets at the end of A phase. Maverick is strong against Vanguard, but I think both sides can do it there as well. You just have to consider how to play. And that's really interesting. But yeah, El Bowser versus Farid Rommel for sure will be a hot match. They have met countless times in practice games and in normal ranked games. So that should be hot. And then obviously Yamin in the way there is quite rough. And then Homer, how do you see your chances against Fitz?
I'm not scared of Fitz in the slightest. I was really scared of Farid Rommel. Like, no offense to Fitz or anything, I think he plays fine. But I did cast a couple of the games that haven't actually come out on my channel yet. And I was not that impressed with the play there. So really, I think my chances are probably I'm going to get to Dark Neutron, and then we'll see how that goes, because it's kind of back and forth with me and him right now. And then if I get to the finals, whoever on the other end gets to the finals, if it's Yamin, maybe I stand a chance. If it's Farid Rommel, the only experience I have fighting Farid is him absolutely rolling over me in the monthly. So, yeah.
Yeah, Fitz has an interesting playstyle. I was really happy when I saw this name in the sign-up sheets again, and I'm happy he made it to the playoffs because he's one of our like slightly more armored tendon players, and we don't have that many of those. Like a lot of the old guard that was that way started to retire, like US Prester John and so on. So I'm happy we have, or what was the name of the Austrian player that was also Division 1 season? I don't get the name anymore. But yeah, Fritz is similar. Like he's a bit of a mix of this and the American playstyle of like Radio Mortis and so on. So he's really enjoyable to watch. Like he has
looking like an underdog there with Armor Division, and sure enough, I would root for him sometimes, but probably yes. Maybe my pick goes to Dark Neutron. I'm always rooting for him since the very beginning, probably. But sure enough, maybe between Dark Neutron and Al Bowser, we'll have a pretty good final to watch.
So
maybe, just a maybe.
That's Division 2.
No faith in me. No faith in me.
Well, do you believe yourself in into yourself, Omar? And like,
we'll see. I believe myself. I can win. We'll put it that way.
Good.
Great confidence.
That's what we want to hear. I mean, Al Bowser obviously
is the Ersatztruppen that are running around.
Sorry about that.
Al Bowser obviously also will believe in himself, as he always talks about how important that is, that you always think you're the best. And we'll see how that works out against Farid and how quickly Al Bowser will get tilted. I might give Farid some tips there about how to get the tilt. Hashtag for play number 1, pick Gora. But yeah, pick number 2, do artillery. Pick number 3, let him look somewhere else whilst you kill his planes. That's my 3-point tip of how to win a best of 7 against Al Bowser. But yeah, Al Bowser for sure more in shape again once more than he was when we played. So really looking hot Division 2. And whoever makes it here also, I think, has earned a nice spot in Division 1 for next season. Like whoever makes it to the finals here.
Oh no.
And that will be hot as well. As Division 1 was a hot season too. And we have some really nice playoffs there. That's what we get into now with the last remaining intro video. So let's go with that.
Do you like the new map?
Not bad, it's a bit
I
cheap,
worked
but I
hard
can
on it.
tell I like the plasma of light cover.
The community will be happy, don't you think?
Excellent spot for an FOB.
What? Division 1.
FOBs for Steel Division 2 confirmed as well. FOB confirmed. We will see as we are moving on to Division 1. And this was a nice season. Jadak got killed there in the chat. Yeah. Thanks, Babayan, once more for these intro clips. They for sure.
Rip Jadak, and we will remember you. We will miss you.
Yeah.
All right.
So here we go. And we had some nice surprises. And though in the end, the division panning out as you would expect it, I guess. Division 1. With, if we look at the 2 winners of the groups, we have a storyline coming up there for rematch, it seems. So 2 players have something against it, I would say. And those 2 players are Gers and Insha. And how do you see the chances of these stopping the Onord versus Gonzo rematch?
Yeah,
That's a pretty good coincidence.
I mean, yeah, they're all. I mean, now we get to hear more about how UUU is the worst player in Steel Division 2. Did he? Now is he on the bottom or not? Like, is him or Skoder on the bottom?
I actually,
Both, I would say.
As they draw hard against each other, they might have to play a deciding game about who is on the bottom.
Who gets relegated?
But
If quadruple U ends up getting relegated, let the spam begin.
yeah.
Oh man.
And
You know, if you actually pick good divisions like Luna, he'd also be a bit better, I think. Well, maybe it's hard to say with what UU is really thinking, but NOV on like Shidrin is such an odd pick, or was it Shidrin?
NOV on any map
yeah.
is an odd pick.
Even
on anything
Cell.
except for Cell.
Yeah.
pretty
Yeah,
much.
basically any map, it's a strange pick.
Yeah.
I would say Cell, and maybe if you have a good setup for Ocean North, you could also make it work there. But on everything
Well,
else,
it's still a lot less odd if you're gonna pick 20th Pantagrenadier on Slotsk anyway.
but he got the win against Kers in game number 2, and more importantly, I was right once more. I was predicting Scholar to not make the playoffs, but to take a map of Gonzo as the only one, and he once more did so in a really cool game. I'm always a bit sad that Scholar doesn't quite make the playoffs, because I feel like he somehow has a shot of beating Gonzo in the playoffs if he would make it there, like more so than a lot of other players. But he always only performs a couple of times, and then the rest of the time he's not quite good enough to making it to the
People
playoffs.
can
once more.
shine. People will shine, even though they are not really quite the best. But at least for one game, they're gonna shine a lot.
He's an
but-
anti. He's anti Gonzo. What can I say? What can you say? He's got the sauce.
I'm not so sure about that because looking at the game, right, Gonzo just straight up refused to use some of the tools in Task Force Butler in the game that he lost. Like, I'm pretty sure you casted this game as well, Protoss, but like, where was the off map? Why are you relying on Mackie Zards versus Hussars? It was very, very like odd for me, and I don't think it was to the level that we normally see from Gonzo.
But I think it was still a really good game from Scholar. And I mean, Scholar also taking the map out of Quadro U. I didn't cast that game yet. That's the last game I still have to cast. But that will be interesting how he did that. So stopping Quadro U's chances of the semifinals there as well. Like, he didn't perform bad. I mean, both Quadro U and Scholar did get maps in 2 out of 3 games. So did do well. But Kers did a slight bit better, getting the W against Scholar and making it to the playoffs. And with Vanguard play nonetheless. That Scholar versus Kers series was a bit rough though. Scholar there with the odd pick, 2 times MGB balanced, was interesting, to say the least. MGB, I think, is a good division, but I felt like balanced was the wrong income there.
Yeah, it wouldn't be my first choice for MGB.
Like, I mean, we have seen MGB performing really well in the hands of Flix versus Dark Neutron, taking one map off of Dark Neutron, being the only one to do that in the group stage. So MGB for sure can perform, and I'm pretty sure Scholar is one of the best players with MGB out there. Maybe Gonzo can, like Gonzo and Scholar being the best with that division, but he somehow looked really weak, and Kers looked really strong there. Like, the Vanguard play was just so on point. Like, I was really worried for seeing Scholar getting destroyed this season after seeing that, but then I just realized, no, it was just really well played by Kers. And that makes me kind of optimistic for our semifinal, as Kers is one of those semifinalists, and he has to face none other than Onord. So that should be a hot match, shouldn't it?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I'm kind of surprised Tanner ended up at the bottom. I always find Tanner to be a really good player.
Well,
Always in shape.
no offense to Tanner, as
That's
he
Tanner.
was like up and coming from like Division 2, right? Having, I believe, won it or something last time around. But I played Tanner quite a bit, and I think the first win that I ever had against like a top tier player was against Tanner, and that was a year ago, back when I was just spamming third Fallschirmjäger. So again, Tanner, a very good player, deserves to be in Division 1 in my opinion. Just, you know, there's still a big skill gap, I would say, between the top of Division 1 and the top of Division 2 at the best of days. So,
well, I think that the issue, like, Tanner is, first of all, also limiting sometimes, going a bit too crazy with his division picks. Something that, like, Scholar also and Quadro also sometimes have issues with. And he is a really good player when it comes to getting engineering and getting out a nice strategy, but he's not quite there on the execution compared to a Gonzo or Onord. He doesn't quite have the APM to follow it up, and I think that's really the last bit of separation that leads to him going back to Division 2, where he did really well last season. He made it into the semifinals, but he was the one filler here. So he was the 8th man. He tried his best. He got a map out of Fantix. So for sure, not performing here. But yeah, getting in the end in the place where he was seated as well, which is not a shame. It's just how it is in tough competition. Fantix, though, has to maybe give up his title as the worst player into the hands of Quadryu, as if Quadryu gets relegated, Fantix will stay in Division 1, and Quadryu will be below him in Division 2, so we will see how that goes, but also not being quite good enough to make it into the playoffs this season, after being semi-final last season, so having to give up that spot to Incha, who did got a draw out of Onord, so both Incha and Scott are showing that the top players can bleed, and Incha is my favorite out of these for winning actually this season.
I feel like the semifinals will almost be more interesting than the finals.
Sure enough, maybe we're gonna see another Owner Gonzo pick, but man, our hearts are gonna wanting for another some really fresh makeup between Cass and Ninja. I mean,
yeah, I'm thinking. I think Ornord. I actually think Ornord's going to pull it this year. He's just been playing. He just plays so well now. He's such a. I don't know. I find his play really tight.
Been playing a lot of Army General to practice with me. Oh God, that's chaos.
Yeah, no,
that's good.
I'm giving the nod to Ornord this year. I think he's going to pull it out over Gonzo.
Finally crossing the Gonzo barrier.
The wall. Crossing the wall.
The wall to crash against.
Well,
Sure
I mean,
enough.
we had this storyline once before of Gonzo rematching against someone and then losing in a second. As that was in Division.
Karma or
Yeah, that was
somebody?
against Karma. Season 4 and 5, season 4 and 3 and 4, I think it was.
3 and 4, those are great seasons.
Those were amazing seasons and amazing finals. And I mean, Gonzo versus Onord rivaled those finals for sure last season, so I would not be sad if we would have the rematch this season. That King Tiger game 4 and 5 action was hot, not gonna lie. Like, when me and Elbowser casted those live, we were on the edge of our seats nonstop. It was really great. So I would not be sad if we would have a rematch. Though, yeah, I also would hope for Incha versus Onord, I think, is what I would like bet on at the moment, but we will really see. And like Gonzo, I mean, every season someone is like, Gonzo is not quite as strong as maybe in the past, but he shows up. He shows up. He is like when he's in the semifinals, he is destroying. And I mean, this group stage he was not even stumbling that much. He lost one map. Previous seasons he sometimes got second place in his group, and he still showed up in the playoffs. So if it is in the semifinals, Incha still will have a rough time, but still Incha is so scary with his questions of play, and I'm really looking forward to see it against Gonzo.
Moral of the day: you have to have no fear to go against anyone else. Sure, of course, especially against Gonzo.
Particularly Gonzo and Incha. Incha playing very much a rushing, infantry spamming kind of play. Potentially, if he can catch Gonzo off foot, we have seen Gonzo kind of lose to that style of play, though I wouldn't suspect him to have adapted at this point.
Yeah. And Onord versus Hairs. We will see if Hairs and Fire Normal will figure out some new fancy strategies. Maybe some V for victory action against Balanced. Or so. Yeah. Or some Juggernaut play. Who knows? But I'm optimistic that these two will go back to square one and try to figure out some strategies. Or just refine their Vanguard strategies to perfection. Fire Normal versus Chaos for sure. I'm really looking forward to what they bring us in the semifinals. And if Onord can stop whatever they got planned there, it should be really nice. So, whom do you all say will win this league, Division 1 and the league in general this season?
I am contractually obliged to vote for Onord.
Well,
I did join Hobo Tango's little quote unquote cult.
Kingdom. Hey,
So,
you got to use the right word. It's a kingdom of which he is the
Exactly.
king, and everyone has to bow down.
yeah, and Onord, right, invited me to this kingdom, and therefore I gotta vote for Onord.
Now
Okay.
I'm legitimately gonna vote for Nerd. I just I think he's got it. I think he's got it going on this year. And no offense to Gonzo, he's fantastic. It'd be nice to see it mixed up a little bit. I don't know, topple the king kind of thing.
My heart says Chaos. My brain says Gonzo. I'm a bit torn between all four players, and I know they are all having a chance of a shot at the crown at the very top of Division 1, and maybe, but I would still say Gonzo is having that mentality to take on all the opponents he faces.
So if semifinals would already be best of 5, I would say Gonzo. But in the best of 3, I feel like Incha will get it out. It will be a clutch, but Incha will make it to the finals. And then in the Incha vs Onward playstyle, I feel like Incha has the legs up. I also, sorry, Cares. I will really looking forward to what you bring to the semifinals. So I feel like Onward will win there, and then I bet on an Incha win in the finals. But yeah, me betting on someone hasn't panned out too well for them this season. Really looking forward to the semifinals here. And Fantasy League is going strong as well, but for everyone but me, that seems. I'm actually the last place currently, if you have a look into the Fantasy League. Every one of my players that I picked got eliminated at this stage. Reef being my last hope, falling to Pro Farmer. So I'm at only 120 points. Meanwhile, the top 3 players so far in the playoffs, before the playoffs, are the Tusk with 5 out of 7 players still in the playoffs. Then El Bowser with 4 out of 5 players still in the playoff. And Reef himself, who did let me down, but himself has a strong team here. Only mispicking on Luna, but Stardeck, Mimile, Yamin, and the Tusk all still in the playoffs. So that should be hot. Yamin for sure being the one that pulls in the points there for Reef. And yeah, Fantasy League, always have an eye open for it, guys. And yeah, pick your team next season a bit earlier so that we have a couple more teams here. And this season, the prize is obviously fame and a Discord title. And then also one of the Nemesis divisions of your choice. So, should be hot. But yeah, these 3 here most likely will be the ones who make it out under each other. Unless someone like Skotter still can pull up. But I feel like already too far behind here in the points. So we'll see who out of these 3 will make it in the playoff stage. I don't think anyone has picked Gonzo this season, by the way. Oh no, a couple of people have. So if Gonzo wins it again, maybe some people will catch up a bit, like Incha. But Gonzo was picked.
I mean, it's just too pricey. Gonzo is just too pricey at the moment. If you want to pick Gonzo, you gotta really sacrifice some of the slots.
Yeah. No, Gonzo was actually picked a couple of times. But so yeah, not all of these players mostly are out of the competition basically already. So yep. Really hot group stages, all of these, with Gonzo, Incha, Onward Hairs, Omer, Fitz, Dark Newton, El Bowser, Frank Rommel, and Yamin. Like, all these names sound fabulous. And I can't wait to get this group stage going. And yep, also, I'm happy to have all three of you in the playoffs as well. And yep, wish you best of
At
luck.
least, well, it's gonna be odd if I'm not in the playoff or not. I'm not sure because I rarely watch his games these days and watching the most important ones. Yeah, sure. Still, a lot of thanks to Protoss for inviting me to join this one. I'm obliged to say these things.
Well, thanks to Protoss for organizing League and everything.
Yeah.
I mean, this kind of stuff keeps this game relevant and keeps people enjoying it. Like, it's definitely my favorite part of playing this game is doing League, and wouldn't be the same without it.
Yeah, big thanks, and thanks for having me on as well.
Also, big shout out to Green HD, who did most of the organizing part in front of this one, as I was mostly busy before, like in the preparing phase of League Season 8, with doing Wano, as we're also currently planning a Wano League there. Should be the Wano League Season 0 should be launching into sign up relatively soon. So be hyped for that. But yeah, Steel Division Season 9 for sure also will start sign up as soon as one or 2 weeks after Season 8 has finished. So mostly starting in September, most likely like late September. I would expect a start date for season number 9. So should be pretty nice. But till then, I hope I see you all in the finals of your divisions. And yeah, once more, big shout out to everyone who contributed on the Match Reno, who did these little sponsor missions, and who contributed directly, especially. Like, always great to see some people validating these players and their effort and making this a bit more closer to esports, as by now we have a prize pool of over $150 for the first place. So yeah, compared to League of Legends, this might not be the highest numbers, but it's for sure quite important, quite a bit of money. And I mean, especially for someone like Onord, that could be quite a bit of money if you convert that into lira.
Make it to 400. Make it to 400. I think I'm gonna try and help him make it to 400.
Oh yeah, also important to make it to 400, guys, because then you can see me suffer. If you make it to, we make it to 400. At 400, I will have to play a full stream of Koruk in rank.
Oh, I'm donating right now. How do I do this? Oh, I gotta log in. Oh, can I give somebody else money to donate for me?
Yeah.
As soon as I get my salary, sure.
Okay,
so let's lobby Eugen, get them to start contributing.
Yeah, thanks everyone for joining. We will have more Generals launches in the future again. I think in the mid-season, and then obviously also having some pre-season drawing events. I think that was a great idea from Green HD, and I think it worked also pretty well out, having this group drawing going as it did. For sure we'll have it for Season 9 as well. If you have any feedback about this division, this season, about the playoffs, if you want, and about the group stages, like, let me know in the chat. And you guys, what is your biggest criticism so far, and your biggest liking, maybe, like the best part of League Season 8 so far, in your eyes?
I like the format. I do like the 50-minute format. I think you guys got it down to a pretty good science at this point of how many bans to get, and the time limit I think definitely makes it a little bit more interesting. It also makes it for casting a little bit. Not that you run into a whole lot of hour-plus games, but it's nice that those aren't there at all, kind of thing.
It's what the times 2 speed's for.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. But yeah.
I still think the time limit should be 55 minutes, but that's just nitpicking at that point. I'm having a lot of fun, and I think the league is in a good position right now.
I mean, we can still, as we getting the time limit officially now from Eugen in the next patch, officially announced also on the Eugen Discord last week, we maybe can then adjust the balance towards 50-minute time limit, so that you are also pleased in that regard.
Yeah, I don't think the incomes are that far off. Like, I don't feel like I play a lot of balanced. I don't feel horrible playing balanced at 50. Like, the 50 minutes doesn't feel oppressive.
Yeah, and if you buff Juggernaut anymore, then the team game players will be on the barricade. So that's not really
if the team game players can survive anyway, still, sure enough.
Yeah, Lila Outfit will most likely come first as an option for custom games only, but if we show them enough that we want the time limit in ranked, then they will add it to ranked as well. And I think
we'll have to ask for it heavily then.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Can we also get Lenina removed?
I think 45 is a pretty much sweet spot for me.
Lenina stays.
Could we get Lenina moved from the rank pool, removed from it, please? Pretty please.
No, it stays.
Lenina. Get rid of Lenina.
Move the flag, all of them, right next to the edge at least.
Okay, there should be a lot of flag adjustment, but Lenina is a good map, and I will fight anyway. Okay, it's not a good map, but it's a map I enjoy playing.
At least, again, that's most of the problems with most of the maps. The flags are in the wrong places. If you put them in the right places, they're good maps.
No, Lenina has just the wrong roads, but Lenina with time limit is more bearable, just like every river map is more bearable with a time limit, because the other side at least has to come to your side of the river at one point in the game as well. Make it fair. So I'm really looking forward to the time limit, and I think it makes especially my favorite map of all time. No, it's not my favorite map, but I defend it still to the grave. YKomamori also more enjoyable if it has
Gore
a
is
time
bad.
limit. And yeah, really looking forward to the playoffs. We will have a lot of fun here. And yeah, I thank you all for coming and making another Generals launch finally happening again. And I'm looking forward to more of these till League Season 20 or so. And yeah, I guess we end it here. Big thanks to everyone for joining up here with us and watching. And see you all in the place.